welcome back to another Random Sam Epic Mom, and it's time for another book review. Now today, we're going over Maya Banks' Darkest Before Dawn. Now this is part of the KGI series, and the main hero is actually an offshoot of a group called Titan. Now, Titan's group has had interactions with KGI on previous missions, so in 3 previous books he'll pop up. And they're not really sure of him because the guy who runs at Hancock, he has saved innocents, but at the same time he's all, gotta do the mission, gotta do this. It's all about, you know, the good of the many over the good of the one, and it's a really tough thing. They were a black ops group run by the government, but then because politicians being politicians decided to throw him under the bus, him and his team are considered traitors, even though they have never done anything traitorous to this country. So they're kind of in a tough thing. They're kind of worn out from, you know, doing all these missions. Still, even after the government has disavowed them, they're still out there fighting the fight. Well, in this book, Hancock is going to be faced with the dilemma of, you know, do you save that one person or do you keep, you know, sacrificing innocents when you're trying to protect innocents? And the innocent that he's got to kind of protect is Honor Cambridge. Now, Honor Cambridge is a relief worker. Now, just so you guys know, I have nothing but absolute respect for anybody who becomes a relief worker, whether you are a doctor, a nurse, volunteer, you know, anybody who goes into war-torn countries. And this one is set in the Middle East. It doesn't actually go into what area of the Middle East. And being out there, and a lot of relief workers end up doing more than they signed up for. You know, doctors are constantly, you know, doing what they can. Nurses end up doing the work that most doctors in the U.S. do. Relief workers end up doing a lot more stuff that nurses do. You know, just everybody has to pull together. And anybody who is a relief worker, whether they are in a medical area or they're bringing in supplies, relief workers are one of the biggest heroes in my mind, besides, you know, police and firefighters, you know, the people who are out there protecting. Now, relief workers end up seeing, you know, refugees, they see, you know, the desperate, they see the people who are in these war-torn countries, you know, just struggling, and they're trying to offer help. They're pretty much putting a Band-Aid on a gushing wound and trying to apply some pressure. They take that pressure off, and the wound's just going to bleed until you're dead. So they've got a really tough job, and a lot of people think of relief workers as gullible and naive, but to me, I think it takes an amazing amount of strength to answer that calling, to put yourself out there. Most of the time, workers who go in these areas are not paid, or they're barely paid. They are constantly putting their lives in danger, but they're trying to do what they think is right. And that, in especially our crazy world that we live in today, anybody who's willing to keep trying to do what's right despite putting themselves in danger deserve all of our respect, guys. You know, just like cops put their lives on the line, relief workers go to countries that aren't their own, whether they're from the US, Europe, does not matter where. The relief workers a lot of times will even be groups from different nationalities trying to help. And a lot of times it can be as simple as, you know, giving vaccines to kids who wouldn't have that medical attention, offering, you know, triage help, a kind smile. And the majority of the relief workers that I have seen interviews about, have heard about, also are very respectful of the culture over there, wherever they happen to be. So again, if you guys ever happen to want to donate to charity, or you just want to give a shout out to some of our unsung heroes in this world, please remember the people who are putting themselves out there, who they're not getting paid, they're not really doing anything, they're just doing what they think is right. And I think that is just amazing, because it takes a lot of strength both inside and out to do that. So the story is pretty much based on a relief center, and Honor is just a relief worker. You know, she's not a nurse, she's not a doctor. She has been, you know, giving vaccines to kids. She has been, you know, doing more and more to help out. And just because of the way it is in that part of the world, especially set in this story, a new terrorist group called New Era. Guys, again, this is fiction. This is not based on real life. Bombs the relief center. And everybody is killed but Honor. Honor, when the attack happens, even before the bombing goes off, she's rushing patients out of the center, and she decides to go back to try and help more. During that time, bomb goes off. Everybody is killed but her. She is buried underneath rubble. And this group has decided they're going to make an example of any Westerners. They're just anybody who's not bowing to their rule, saying that they're right, they're going to attack. And this group has gotten a lot of, people to join who, are believers. And guys, I don't care what your personal beliefs are, the majority of these terrorist groups, whether they're fiction or out there, do not follow the Muslim belief. They do not follow any of the religious beliefs out there because, what they're doing is not good. But in this one, they've got a lot of people who join up for it because they want glory, fame, riches, and they love that people are scared of them, especially this group in the book, New Era. And their whole thing is that they will wipe out an entire town. They leave no survivors. And so they've attacked this relief center, and they're actually checking to make sure they got all of the workers. Everybody is accounted for. So she has to dig herself out of the rubble and find a way to escape because they know exactly who all was working there. And just throughout this, she's going to, for the first week, just walk. She's in horrific pain. She's had a head injury, knee injury. She's in a lot of pain. And when it first happened, she's like, why was I spared? Why wasn't I killed? Why, questions everything. But then she decides, I'm going to win. I'm going to beat these guys. I'm not going to give them the complete victory they want because I'm going to tell my friends a story. And it's all about her struggles of, respecting the culture, getting help from the people who have every reason to just turn her over. She's given people hope. And this whole story is about how she keeps giving those people hopes, all the, rigmaroles, how Hancock is supposed to, turn her over so they can use her as a bargaining tool to get to the bigger enemy to take out. And it's just so amazing. In this book, even more than some of the other KGI books, it really faces people's conscience, is the nicest way to put it, because when it comes down to it, guys, we have to be able to look ourselves in the mirror every day. And for soldiers, whether they're black ops, mercenary groups, regular soldiers, police, it's very tough because you get given orders, you get given a job to do. And every day you have to make that decision. Do you let an innocent person get hurt to get the bad guy, or do you, sacrifice and try and save that one innocent person? And with a lot of the books that I read and such, that they're contemporary books and they're dealing with, things like that, it is very tough because, again, guys, there are a ton of people in this world, okay, plenty. If you live in the U.S., you're just always surrounded by people. But people struggle no matter where you live in the world. They have different struggles. And to be in an area that is constantly bombarded with terrorist groups, that is constantly under attack, to have people, stand up and say, no, I'm going to help you. You've become a beacon of hope. You've given us something to fight for, something to rally behind. And then to have this other operative, Hancock, say, I've got to use her to draw in the other bad guy, and I'm going to be pretty much lying and sacrificing. And it's all about how that goes. And him having to face his own demons and his team having to decide, are we still doing this? Is this right, what we're doing? And I got to tell you guys, it is just so amazing. This book, I am rereading it again for like the 4th time. It is a wonderful book. It is. I'm still waiting on the 12th book to come out because the author was sick and it just happened. But this book is so amazing, guys. I really wish you guys would go out, read this one, any of the KGI books. They can be standalone books, but again, read them in the series always gives you more. Anytime that you want to have that type of drama, this is more considered a suspense romance. And again, it will keep you on your seat. It will really build up what's going on in different areas of the world, but it'll mostly show you how people who are put in those situations, whether they're a soldier, relief worker, the locals, how things in a different part of the world go differently than what you're used to, but how the people who are stuck in it, how they had to make those choices. So again, if you guys get a chance, please give this book a read, or any of the KGI novels. And as far as the author, Maya Banks, her books are wonderful. She writes in a wide range. She's got historical romance, contemporary romance, defense romance, erotic romance. Guys, no offense, but you read her books, especially her erotic ones, you better be willing to, at the end of the night, play out some scenes with your significant other. But that kind of defeats the purpose. Ignore that. They are wonderful. Please give her a read. This book, this series, any of her series, they're always worth the time and effort. And you guys, if you have read her books, let me know in the comments what your favorite was, and if you have any others you want to recommend. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. Remember guys, a book is always something to keep with you, because there's never time that it's not good to read. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Please check out our other videos already on YouTube, and give us a like and subscribe. And if you hit that bell for notifications, you'll know when we put something new out. So try to make every day matter by finding the fun. You guys have a great one. Bye.